There we go. Close enough. I just want to make sure got a couple things up here before I started it. So how's everybody doing so far? Hey, what's up, BA? Yeah, a little bit of a slow start, but we'll get going here. Gotta do something about that light. That's driving me crazy. Hey, what's up, HDP? So what I caught from BA's talk is this is quite interesting. I love hacks like that. Just what I was helping my dad out and doing a couple other things. So I was like, I come in, read it for a little bit, go back out, help dad. Come in, read it, take care of the dog. Come in, read it. Hey, what's up, neighbor? Hey, thanks for the sub, buddy. Yes, it is. What's up, Mickey? But yeah, a lot of those hacks I've seen before, but I always like hearing different people's takes on it. Um, you're in the right place, what? Oh, yeah. There's more hacks than the human mind could actually fathom. Like you're talking about the fishing kits. I've seen people do the pocket fishing kits with like a little small diameter piece of PVC pipe about this big, and they'll put the threaded cap on one side and put just a regular cap on the other, so they can put everything in there, everything they need inside the pipe, and have the line wrapped around the outside of it. Like, I think I'm gonna be doing that tomorrow. I got this here. Let me back up so you can actually manage that thing right. What this is a keychain for your boat. You put your keys on it, but it comes apart. It's hollow inside. I was going to do a pocket fishing kit out of this. What's up, man? What's up, Frank? How you doing, Jepper? But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff, and especially with the Altoids tins. There's I've seen people do so many things with Altoid tins to make your head spin. In fact, one of the magazines I read, um, if you guys don't read it, a magazine I'd actually suggest that you check out because it has a lot of good information in it. It's the Backwoodsman. I love that magazine, and this is one of the things with Altoid tins is they took one of those, filled it up with oh, I forget what they put in it. I have to actually get the article back out, but they turned it into a little camp stove. They took like screen and they elevated the screen so the pot's not sitting right on top of the Altoids tin, and an elevated screen so the air could get into it. And I don't know if they put perlite and alcohol or something in it, but they lit it and they're actually cooking on that Altoids tin. Then they took another thing like a you guys ever see those Seresto um what are they flea collars? One of these. I got one of those right here. One of these, and they took and they cut cardboard and they just kept on spiraling the cardboard inside of it so you could put the lid on it. And they filled after they put the cardboard in, they covered it all with wax, and they could set that on fire and set it like underneath a pot on stand and use that to keep the pot warm. All kinds of stuff. Um, Another one I've seen people, yeah, just like canned heat, but instead of being like sterno, it was cardboard and wax. That's all it was. They would use them as a fire starter too. Like I have like talking about canned heat. I have a sterno stove. I mean, the stove with 1 can of sterno in my hiking gear still weighs under 12 ounces, which when you're hiking, always look for some way to save weight when I'm hiking, and that 12 ounces is there are lighter options. I will say that, but I like to. I, I've always messed around with sterno. I know how to use sternos. It's one of those things. Is just if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. You know what I'm saying? And see that with my sterno stove, I can do that with it as well, man. If I don't have sterno, I could do the sticks and stuff in it and still get the same effect. Oh, I hear you, David. I I'm the same way. When it comes, I won't have it on, but when it comes to using my phone, I actually have to use one of those little nub things because even these little, I don't have the fattest fingers in the world, but if I try typing with my thumb or my fingers on my phone, it's mistype city. And like another thing, talking about making fires, this is one of those spray applicators for hand disinfectant. And just goofing around one day, I actually took a lighter, held it above my tinder, took this and sprayed it with this. This stuff's a little bit thicker than the stuff that you usually find. That's like really thin, so it was like water. This stuff sticks. It sticks like napalm. It actually worked for starting a fire. I just want to see if it worked, and it did. Actually, I just going over some stuff. Like I think the last after show I did, I think we ended up talking about cars and trucks the whole time. It was his tuner cars. Oh, let me see. There's a couple other things I had. Um, like another thing that I don't have the means to do it here, but do you guys know how to make different things you might need once you get to your campsite? Oh, that's trippy. Like how to make a tripod once you get to where you're going to camp at, stuff like that. And see, and what's hey, what's up, Dash? I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. It's just I wish I had the time to actually. Well, once my photography slows down here a little bit more, I'll have time to do a little bit more of that. Oh boy, you having problems down there, Wes? Definitely gotta get another cover for its office chair because I keep on sliding. So, but yeah, hack wise, there's so many things you can do hack wise. I mean, I could probably sit here and talk for an hour just for even though I can't eat fish, I could probably talk about an hour for different fishing hacks, different ways to make fishing kits, different way to make different fishing techniques, stuff like that. Which is kind of funny. I'm allergic to fish. I can't eat them, but I can handle them all day long. It doesn't bother me. Like the last time I went fishing, and I was fishing for everybody else, not for myself. Oh yeah, they are. People were laughing at me. I found about a 4 foot long stick, put about 8 foot of line on it, just tied it on the end, put a grub on the end of it, and I'm pulling panfish out of the lake left and right. And they're like, "Who taught you how to fish like that?" I'm just like, "It's working, isn't it?" Hey, what's up, Keisha? But yeah, in hunting, the other thing with hunting is I kind of messed around. not really hunting anything, but just trying different things, way off camera. Like one I made the video one, and you guys may laugh at that's the hunting stick. It's not one. It's not the most preferred method for hunting, but what I look at is especially deep woods. You don't really have any line to go get more ammo or anything. So hunting options is a good thing. No matter how silly it is, hunting options and trapping options are a good thing. You got the hunting stick, you got the atlatl, bows, slingshots, regular old slings, and that's another thing. Like I actually pack a slingshot in my pack because with a slingshot, one thing about it is even if you carry ammo with you, if you happen to run out of ammo, you can always reach down to the ground to grab more. As long as it's at least a semi-round rock, you got ammo. Yes, they do, Roger. Rat traps, mouse traps, and for well, we have. My dad used to be a trapper. We got conibears, we got jaw traps. I got the uh, what's the other ones? The the paw traps for the finger traps for the raccoons, and knowing how to make different sets, that can make all the difference in the world. And that will help you. Like if you're going for more fur than you are for food, you're going to need one set type of set. If you're going for food over fur, you're going to need another type of set. And those types of sets will help you target what you're looking for. Um, like I've watched my dad do this 100 times. With one set, he'll catch nothing but coon, but he'll turn around. It'll look like close to the same set. The other set will get nothing but fox. Hey, talking about bikes, I see Maine just bring that up. Yes, it does, Maine. Did you see a BA? Did you see my the first major? I won't say first major, but I took the fast scout bike out in the woods. That was interesting. I haven't done that in years. That was fun, and it went a little bit better than expected. The one hill I kept on forgetting to gear down for it, but once I got up that hill, the rest of the ride was great. What's up, Rachel? Yeah, I've had that with some of the chats too. Like I'll get kicked out and I get back in. I get kicked out and get back in. Usually the third time I get back in, it works fine for me. I don't know if it's my connection, your connection, or probably someplace in the middle. Something's getting lost in translation. And it all depends like what's going on, all the different all the different hubs and everything. Yeah, even though I think I only buffered once tonight, I could tell when my chat's starting to buffer because I'll lose my chat screen on this end. Night, Wes. Talk to you soon, buddy. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other ones. Yeah, some of the things I have coming up is on Tuesday. I'm going to talk about. Hey, what's up, boy girl? I'm going to talk about. This is things you can do before SHTF, but this is like just good driving practices. Hey, Christy, how you doing, hon? But I'm going to talk about different driving practices, and this is something I have a lot of experience with. And I practice not because of SHTF, it's because of the type of driving that I do. Um, but I'll get into a lot more of that on Tuesday. But I think that'll be interesting because a lot of the driving that I do can translate into SHTF or even just everyday life because these are things that you can practice and not break the law by practicing. It's actually designed to make you a better driver, make you a little bit more of a heads up driver. Oh, there you go, BA. But that, and I think the following Tuesday, um, just going to talk about off road vehicles. Well, I should say just vehicles in general and the pros and cons of each one of them. And the one thing that I found is this: even with off road vehicles, nothing's perfect. Nothing. Everything's what pros are going to outweigh what cons, and vice versa. So I think that would get a little interesting too. Um, especially like a lot of people say I should use my truck in SHTF, like my work truck. I'm just like, yeah, good luck with that. As long as I stick to the roads and roads don't are still fairly high clearance, I'm good. But you get me on some back road that has like low clearance, I'm done. She was here, Dash. Beard grooming with PAS. Exactly, man. Exact. May nailed it right on the head because no matter what, every vehicle is going to have a weak link of some sort or another, whether it be too low, too high centered, too long, too short, too wide, or any other problems there. Um, like, let's just take my Jeep Renegade. It will do minor off road. You get into heavy off road, ain't gonna be too good with that. Um, doesn't have the greatest ground clearance. Another con. But one of its pros is I could that vehicle's narrow enough. I could almost run quad trails with it. I don't have to have something that's cut out wide like a regular lane. I could run a narrower trail with it as long as the trail isn't too bad. And it's quiet. That's that's another pro. I mean, it is nice and quiet. I mean, once I start it up, if I'm standing 100 feet away from it, I can't hear it run. Just as I said, it's all give and take. But the main thing with me in that Renegade though is I want to get something like BA has or like an older Jeep Cherokee, something I could get like a good bulletproof drivetrain out of. My problem is I can only afford one vehicle. I can't afford two. I can only afford one, and I have to feed this thing on a 72-mile round trip every 5 days a week to go to work. So I like BA Suburban. I like the older Jeep Cherokees, but those things drink gas like it's going out of style. Yeah, what date is that, BA? Actually, jumping maybe onto something there. Just hope you could outfly the AAA. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. It's just it all depends on what time I can get off and what when I can't. And actually, this year my vacation's already used up. I've vacation comes September, so that's that. Actually, you might be on something there, David. If not the Amish buggy motor for it. Oh, there you go, HDP. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Because I know a couple people that have taken the Wranglers and done diesel conversions on them. They use a little 1 to 5.2 liter Isuzu turbo diesels in it. See, that's interesting you say that, David. I have years of riding and training experience. So for me to get on a horse and just head off through the woods is like second nature. Well, in fact, the last two show horses I had, well, one was a show horse, one was a barrel horse. That's what I used to do. We used to trail ride both of them all the time. My Western pleasure horse, which everybody kind of laughs as a Western pleasure horse, is right around the rail at the show. He was probably the most trusted trail horse I had. I could take him out and go just about anywhere. Oh, you're right, man. Absolutely right. Um, the reason why these guys did the 5.2 Isuzus is they had access to free ones. Says, well, we got this free engine, we just slap it in here, and they did a transmission adapter to it because the transmissions on the that Isuzu uses are about 5 foot long. So they did like a adapter, if I think, for a turbo 350, and went on from there. Lizard Lick. I have no idea. Yeah, but getting back to that Western Pleasure horse I had, I could take him out. I was able to break trail with him. I could go where there's no trail, break trail, what we call brush popping, trail ride. He would go through water. He would go over bridges. You put him in an obstacle, he went. He totally trusts me. He'd go through it, no problem. And at 1,200 pounds, if I faced him at somebody and said get him, he was ready to go. That horse would throw it down just as fast as I would. I'm just catching up with the chat over here. See, that's one thing I never had. I never had a dirt bike. Well, I bet you it is, Christy. I mean, I've been through some weird riding stuff too. Like up at Cook's Forest, we were actually trail riding up at Cook's Forest after the flood went through. There's a state park northeast of me, but yeah, because where we're riding at, the trail was completely washed out, so we had to literally pick our way go from like landmark to landmark, and pick our way through the flood debris. But that was interesting. I know you're a war girl. My mother's in about the same predicament, and she's yes, I do, David. Yes, I do. Been all over down horseback, and been all over Marionville and Franklin on horseback too. I mean, was a real fun ride in there. That was real fun. Marionville's real fun too. Thinking Marionville and Buzzard Swamp, we got like the oh okay. Then you probably know Buzzard Swamp pretty well then too. No, I'm not in the National Guard. I got this from the National Guard. I just have to be wearing it today because I got cleaned up because I had to do some running, and it's the cleanest hat I have right now. But I'm a supporter of the National Guard. Let's put it that way. Okay, cool. Yeah, but for David here, if you're up around that way, go up around Marionville and find Buzzard Swamp. It's a game lands up there. It's pretty neat. It's mostly flat, but it has like about 14 or 15 little lakes in there, and there's some good bass fishing. There's some good hunting in there too. So, but my best advice if you don't know the area, stay close to the roads because there's also some places in Buzzard Swamp that people forget about, and they're very soupy, and you'll lose a person in a heartbeat. Yeah, but we used to have a camp right outside of Marionville up there, so we were up that way not that long ago. Landenberg. Well, where was Landenberg at? Because I still live in Pennsylvania, but I live down in Beaver County. Oh, okay, okay. I got you. Dayton, Pennsylvania, which is kind of close to Tanning, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Katanning can be a fun place too. Um, if you're into horses, check out the Fort Armstrong Horseman's Park over there. They hold a lot of horse shows there. PAHA shows there a lot. There's been a couple Penn Ohio shows there. But if you get in with them, they have miles and miles and miles of trails over there, just horse trails. So I mean, if you ride horses, you'll love that place. Um, they have a decent sized pen. They have I forget how many barns with stalls. They also have a small, at least they used to. I don't know if they still have it or if they put stalls in, but they used to have an indoor there. Um, like for the horse shows and whatever, they also have a kitchen or like a food like a food booth. They have like the entry booth, which for when for Armstrong they use that I think as like it was like a mess hall. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff up there. So it's something else for you to look into while you're up there. Okay, okay. Hey, good night, my neighbor, and thanks for the sub again. I hope to see you soon. But yes, when it comes to PA though, there's a ton of interesting places to go. And what got me on that was Christine talking about riding over earthquake cracks. I mean, that's some pretty sketchy stuff there. So Yes, it does, Roger. That part when we were riding in Cook's Forest when I was younger, that part wasn't flooded out. Now this is back when I'm 47 now. Just turned 47 yesterday. I turned. That's back when I was 10. So that's like 37 years ago when Cook's Forest had that major flooding. But that part around the Appalachian Trail was still good. It wasn't touched. Everything was still above the water level. So once we got there, it was a good ride. In fact, the one trail that we wanted to come down the horse trail, looking at the map, that was washed out. So we ended up riding down the Appalachian Trail to get back to where we needed to go. Hey, thanks, Sash, and happy birthday to you too, buddy. WB, welcome back, BA. Now, see, everybody's trying to get me to hike the Appalachian Trail. If I want to take like a through hike, I actually want to. Actually, I more want to through hike the North Country, especially from where I live. I have access to about 100 and some miles of it from where I live, and I could be in anywhere in that 100 and some miles within the hour. Yeah, my birthday was yesterday, BA. Or no, actually, it was 2 days ago now. My birthday was on Thursday. Dash's was on Wednesday. Uh-oh. Sounds like your dog's in the proverbial doghouse there, Christy. Mine's laying here looking at me like, when are you going to go to bed? Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Mickey. But yeah, another place. A couple of you guys, David and Roger, and a couple of the other guys got me thinking about all the different places I used to trail ride at. Thank you, Lakeisha. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good riding to be had out there, and a lot of it, which is kind of funny. Is like if you guys watch my bug out bag, I'm not my bug out bag, my get home bag video, I had a map in there for not Cook's Forest, for Raccoon Creek State Park, because at the route I was doing at the time, went right past it. If driving my work truck, if we would have like an EMP or a CME, because the truck's computer controlled, so it would die. The reason I carried that map is where I'm at, I could cut cross country through that trail. I knew there's at least one or two hiking shelters in there, so I have shelter depending on what time of day it was. I knew I could find shelter, so that would be one of the major four that I'd have to worry about. But once I got the shelter, food and fire wasn't not food, but water and fire wasn't far behind, and I carried food with me, so that's all four things taken care of with the least amount of calories spent. But I could cut through the park over to Route 18 and walk Route 18 on this home. 9 months to do the Appalachian. Thank you, Rachel. Good night. I think she's already out of here. Yes, there is, Juanita. Yes, there is. Oh, I hear you there, man. And depending on where those walking trails are around here, the walking trails, you're like you can get a dirt bike down them, let alone a full size vehicle. Hi, Seppi. Yeah, but for you guys that do get home bags, especially like me, I'm a driver. That's a map you may want to look into. Is getting a map of any parks you may, any like larger state parks, county parks that you may come by. Because especially if you have to get from point A to point B, you could use the trail system that park to knock a corner off. That's my take on it anyway. Because it's it that's my take on it anyway. Is especially you can find resources in the park that you're not going to find like either walk along the road or going out through the middle of the woods. So you can find resources in that park. Well, you can find resources anywhere, but in the park, you kind of know where to look. That's interesting. So you can't go in the crapper with your piece, but you can walk around the park with it. That's interesting. That's true, man. I have to keep that in mind, BA. I have to keep that one in mind. I just find that kind of funny. It's one place where you probably wouldn't have to use it. You can't take it. But I'm trying to think. For David, there's a couple other things you may want to check out while you're up there too. Just north of Marionville on 66. I don't know if you can still go up it, but they had a fire tower up there, and I think the last time I was up there, you're still able to go up in the fire tower, or at least up to just before you get into the actual fire tower itself. You go up the stairs. That's kind of neat there. Then I don't think you're too far from Kinzu either. So that if you pull out the PA road map, you're not that far from the Allegheny National Forest up there, and we've got Cook's Forest and a couple other state parks that aren't. Uh, yeah, two other um, Cook's Forest, and I think 33 other state parks are close to you as well. Don't fall, Wes. Yeah, kids. I've not been to Kinzu in years. I want to go see what they did with the bridge because I seen what they did. I actually want to actually go out and walk on it because they took what was left of that railroad bridge and they made a skywalk out of it, which I think I think that's interesting because that bridge is actually was knocked wasn't was knocked down not that long ago. Oh, they're not going to do anything with it. That bridge was decommissioned a long time ago, so it was just a marker in the park, and they decided to leave it knocked over. But on the one end, they turned the one end into a skywalk. Oh, there you go, War Girl. That's a good idea. But I watched the show and how that bridge went over. That was just because I always thought this tornado hit it and just knocked it over and kept on going. The way it was constructed, it couldn't just do that. It actually the tornado came into it, literally picked it up. Actually, it came. I think the tornado actually came from the north to the south, hit that bridge, picked it up, and threw it backwards. They said in order to get the bridge, the pieces that were knocked over, to get them back as far as they were, the tornado picked up that whole big span of bridge, picked it up about 50 feet in the air before it threw it backwards. That was just that still just boggles my mind. I'm just like, yeah, that's something you didn't want to mess with. Yeah, that's just wild. What I seen that show on a Science Channel. Can't remember what it was called. Okay, Roger. Okay, Lucas, you go get her taken care of. Yeah, Mother Nature, Mother Nature can get tough real quick. Hope she's okay. Actually, for PA, depending on what edition of the map you get, I got the new map from Moraine State Park, and it is a very detailed topographical map. I didn't for especially for PA State Parks. I never thought I'd seen that, and it's marked off. I think every 10 feet of elevation now. Before that, they'd say you'd be getting a topographical map that's marked off about every 100. Now it's like every 10 feet. So it is fairly, especially for state park map, it's fairly detailed. It's in fact, Marine State Park has coordinates for almost everything in the park now too. So you can punch your coordinates into a GPS and take it straight to it. Oh, I've been there before, man. That's no fun. We're we're in a heavier canvas tent, but I was at a 1 week Boy Scout camp. Big canvas tent. We knew that we were going to have rain coming and some high winds coming. That's all we were planning for. But we all went around. We put extra guidelines on the tent to make sure the tent stayed down. Secured the floorboards. We actually had like these platforms that we put the tents over. Secured those down. And right before dark, that's when the storm hit. And I was one of the only ones. The rain was coming in sideways, and the way it was coming in, I was able to actually open one side of the tent, not have any rain come in. It was like blowing past the end of the tent, and watch a tornado go across the bat. It missed the whole campground, but we watched like a Cat 3 tornado skirt the edge of the Boy Scout camp. It probably went about 5 miles and stopped, but it was pitching stuff everywhere. Night, Christy. Sleep tight. I was gonna. Yeah, it sounds about right, just Dave. Because when I was dating the girl over in, I'm not dating, but had that girlfriend over in Beverly. It's going to take me about $1,100 to fly over. Yeah, it was Mickey. It was interesting. I'm just sitting. I'm like, well, I hope nothing big comes because I got nowhere to go. But it was the tornado was far enough away that we could watch it and not really get the full. We never got the like hardly any brunt from it at all. It all stayed concentrated around that tornado. It's probably about a half mile away, but we're still close enough to catch a little bit of debris every once in a while that is kicking out. I mean, the next day, like after the weather calmed down, next day, all the scouts in the camp went over to see if anything actually got destroyed other than trees, and it missed everything over there. Nobody's house got damaged. Nobody needed help. It basically landed in a patch of woods, went through a patch of woods, and ended in a patch of woods. And they just since it's off the campgrounds, they're just like, well, it's not our properties, and nobody asked for help, so I guess we're just gonna have to let it go. Hey, good night, David. You have a great night. I hope to see you again soon, buddy. Yeah, but that was an interesting night. The other interesting night was trying to get the fire started because we ended up we got the fire started, but they gave us this diesel to start the fire, and us being a little not none of us was really versed with using diesel to start the fire because everything was soaked. So like, here's some diesel to help you get your fire started. Okay. uh, Diesel won't light with a match. You have to light that with almost like a road flare. Diesel's a lot different than gasoline. You actually have to have something really hot to get that diesel going. Gasoline, you can just throw a match at and just woof. Diesel, not so much. You have to use like a road flare or already have a small fire going to let it get up the heat, then go. And the reason for that is one thing people forget: diesel combustion actually works off compression in the engine, so it takes a lot of heat to get it going. Then once it got going, then we couldn't get the damn thing out. But that's living and learning. What's up, survival? Well, Datch, I don't think there is one, but if you make one, yeah, I think that you may just be a billionaire there. Preppersonly.com. Well, Datch, I think somebody beat you to it. Roger says there is. Maybe I should use that. I've been single for 20 years now. You don't have to be lonely at preppersonly.com. Do you have a website for that, Roger? Hmm. Good night, Dash. Exactly, survival. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, just look at some of the crazy. Just look at some of the crazy apps for anything. Oh, I know. We used to use tires like that too. We get a fire going just to make sure we keep the fire going. We just throw tires on it. Then everybody within about a 30-mile radius knows you're having a bonfire. Looks like a little nuclear mushroom cloud rising up from your pasture. I'm trying to think. Don't you hate when you have a thought right to be right tip of your tongue, but you can't really put your finger on what exactly it is? An inmate dating site. Yeah. You get some big conjugal visit from some big guy you don't want one from. I missed something here. Oh, geez. Oh, talking about fires. We're talking about fires. That reminded me. I have to go make some charcoal. And the other thing I need to do is I have a flint and steel, not a ferro rod. I actually have an old school flint and steel set that I want to try to get better with too. So yeah, that if you never use a flint and steel, it's interesting. Um, my problem is every time I use a flint and steel, I can't get the sparks to go where I want them to go. Like I'll strike down on them. I'll strike down on a piece of flint, and the sparks, for some reason, my sparks always go up before they go down. I'm like, you and me both, world girl. I haven't been on a date for so long that I forget how to do it. Well, see, we do that up here with they make the tiki lamps with the citronella in it now. And talking about mosquitoes, there's a couple hikes I want to take, but I'm waiting for the first frost to take them. One is called the Shoulder Run Wetlands. It's over by Grove City. And the reason I'm waiting for first frost to take that one, it's mostly swamp. And the last time I went in there during mosquito season, I was covered in off, and I still come out there looking like somebody took a BB machine gun to me. Oh, I hurt. Sounds like Elle knows what she's doing, though. Says, "Yep, I'm camping. This is my spot. You can need to find a spot to pitch your own tent, right?" That and I think sometime tomorrow. I just got a new machete. I want to try this machete out. And the way it's shaped, it's somewhere between the machete and the kukri. It's the blade kind of does one of these deals in across the spine like this. And when the blade comes in, it doesn't quite come in like a kukri, but it kind of has a nice little sweep to it. And the price is right. I got it for $10. So I'm gonna give this. I'm always one looking for an alternative because some of the prices they have on some of this stuff is just ridiculous. Let's face it. some of the prices on some of the stuff is just ridiculous. I always try to find different alternatives, a cheaper but as good alternative. And I found a lot of stuff like, and I hate to say it, a lot of the stuff's made in China, but I don't have the money to go drop $250 on a bushcraft knife. I just don't have it. Oh boy, that means I got 3 years to go before my dating life completely goes down. Oh yeah, I should build a dating site and watch everybody else get dates but me. I don't think so. But yeah, I was talking about knives. Like some of the knives I have, like let's fit, they're made in China, but I don't have the money for the good, quote good stuff. Nor do I think the good stuff's worth as much as they say it is. I'm sorry, that's just me. Oh, there you go, man. It's been working out. It's been working out for you too. I think, correct? Like a friend of mine. He's an old farmer. We're talking about his married life. He's been married for almost 47 years. He's been working out for 47 years. He goes, give or take. What on the years part is knowing the working out part. She tells me to do something, I just go do it. I won't even argue anymore. I'll try that war girl. That sounds interesting. That I never thought about that. Well, see, that's the important thing is when you have a spat and you can work it out, you create a tighter bond with them. So that's cool. See, I'd never been married, never been divorced, don't have any kids. Of course, I don't know if I want to have kids. One of me on the planet Earth is enough. I think if I had a kid, that'd be a surefire sign of the upcoming apocalypse. So, oh, that's awesome, Mickey. Ooh, I'm just reading the chat here. So, no waste it. Just out of curiosity, war girl, where are you at in New York? Hey, what's up, West Wind? Yeah, I know a couple. In fact, of everybody that I went to school with, I was friends with in school, I never got married. All of them, except for one, got divorced. The one that didn't get divorced, his marriage is still going on strong. They have 2 kids, and they couldn't be happier. I'll definitely look into that work, girl. I'll try that tomorrow. You're not the first person I've heard say that. So either I was going to divorce her, or I was going to kill myself. One of the two. I'm sorry to laugh, but oh, if I had a deliver every time I heard that. And see what Juanita's saying there? I understand that to a point because that is actually a survival instinct. It's you're in a vulnerable state. Somebody took you to the most vulnerable state you're ever in before they left, and you decide you never want to be in that state again. Oh, I got you. The preppers in New York are on a strict OPSEC. Brooklyn, that's a good piece away from here. I've been to the Bronx before. That's an interesting joint. Actually, I think we were up in Brooklyn once too. During that trip, we went up to Brooklyn once to have dinner up there. Some little back Italian village over on Brooklyn, someplace. Great food though, awesome food. Oh, tell me about it, man. The place we were working at was over in the industrial side of the Bronx, and there's a little hill outside of it. Every day they're taking another dead body off that hill. Every morning, we show up at the same time the corner car would show up. I hear you there, Just. But we reached 1 hour here, and I'm going to start getting ready to go to bed here because I actually there's a lot of stuff I want to get done tomorrow. So you all have a great night, and I'm hoping to see most of you guys back here on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday 8 o'clock is my actual webcast. So, and I'm actually going to have a loose subject for once instead of just sitting there talking about whatever comes up like we did tonight. And that hey, talk about whatever comes up. That's always fun too. So it's also a good way to kick around different ideas at the spur of the moment. You usually have your best thought at the spur of the moment and not well after the fact. But you all have a good night. I'll see you all soon. I love you all and thank you for coming. Night, everyone.